and a black bear ran across the road. And
he was the first Pennsylvanian to join the Civil War.
There's no way I can get my truck back there. I'm driving all day. I've been driving for, it's 5:30 now. Hi friends, welcome back again. Good to see you. This week we went a little bit farther. I'm actually about the farthest north that I've ever taken this truck. We are in Allegheny National Forest in Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, about 200 miles northwest of where I live. I'm actually closer to New York than I am where I live. We're down here along one of the forest roads. Oops, sorry, I thought I saw a camp. I'm down here along the forest roads looking for a place to camp because this is the National Forest. Dispersed camping is first come, first serve. So there is a creek along this road. So I was hoping, according to what I saw on Onyx, that I'd be able to find a dispersed site along the creek. So I've seen a few already, but one was occupied and the others seemed a little bit too close to the road and kind of small. I mean, I haven't really seen any traffic here, so yeah, that's another one that's like right next to the road. Hoping to get one that's a little bit closer down towards the creek as we get lower in elevation and lower down to where the level of the creek is. I just turned down a little 2-track that was going down towards the creek, and I don't know if it just terminates at the creek or perhaps there's a dispersed campsite down here. But it's not too narrow. I don't have to worry about getting pinstriped, even though I'm not too worried about it in this old truck. This looks like some kind of a well. Well, that ain't gonna work. Drive up here took a lot longer than I thought. I've been driving for about 5.5 hours, and the last 45 minutes now have been trying to find a campsite by the creek. I mean, I've seen a few. But a lot of these little 2-track offshoot roads seem to be down like towards some kind of pumping stations. Or they almost look like little mini oil derricks. That would have been a great campsite. Little fork in the creek over here. The only thing is, there's no way I can get my truck back there. It's not going to happen. Way too narrow and too many trees in the way. Well, I think I just found a spot over here, and we are right on the very edge of Allegheny National Forest, but it's clearly a campsite, and it's right by a little offshoot creek. So, yeah, I think this is going to be it for tonight. Yeah, I think this is going to be this is home for the night. It is just a little offshoot from one of the side forest areas, but we're really on the edge of Allegheny National Forest. And then I see this here. It says fishing permitted courtesy of landowner, no littering. I'm not sure what that means because according to the Onyx maps, I'm within Allegheny National Forest. There's no sign it says private property. None that I can see. I'll do a walk around real quick. But this is an established campsite with a fire ring. Just a short jaunt away, we have a nice little babbling brook here. So yeah, let's go take a walk up next to that road. Make sure I don't see any private property signs. Downloaded the maps on it, I had the service here. But in the green there is Allegheny National Forest. We are right on the edge, and everything seems to correspond with the other maps too. And it does. I had the filter on here for dispersed camping, and this little section of this forest road does have it within 50 feet of the road. I think that's a little bit more than 50 feet, but I don't know. Other people have been camping here too, so. There's a lot of these, more of that plumbing. I guess, I don't know, maybe natural gas, I suppose? There is a reservoir there. It looks like a water tank, but I don't think that's what it's for. And this is the sign just close by, Mark and Run, which is a park sign. I don't see any signs that say posted or private property. So, and this clearly is a forest road. There's no sign entering it said private drive. So yeah, I think we're good to go. Thank God. I've been driving all day. I've been driving for, it's 5:30 now. I left the house close to 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, camp's all set up. I didn't show you guys setting up camp this time because I don't know, I seem to do it in every video. I think it probably gets old. Anyway, we're all set up. I lost a lot of time driving and trying to find a camp spot. And let's see, it's, I think it's about a little bit after 6 o'clock p.m. Come on. I did put on a flannel shirt. I brought a jacket too because I checked the weather and it's supposed to get down to 37 degrees Fahrenheit tonight. That is this in Celsius. And right now it's 63.5 degrees Fahrenheit, which is this in Celsius. Not chilly, but it's not warm. I kind of like it. Now I did bring my own little fire pit because I don't like those rings. They're just too, there's fire pit, they're great. The fire rings are great, but the thing is just too darn big. If I put a fire into it, I got to, you know, and even if I put to one side, I'm still a good, you know, 2.5 feet away from it. So I brought my little knockoff solo stove made by VEVOR, and I have that sitting on top of a welding blanket. Fire risk, I last checked, was moderate. So like a lot of the places in the Mid-Atlantic, we've had a lot of rain for the last, well, up until a couple days ago, it was raining for almost like an entire week, it seemed. I know we got saturated where we live in south central Pennsylvania. Here we're in northwest Pennsylvania. And the conditions don't feel dry, but I figured just play it safe. So I got the welding blanket down since I'm not going to use that fire ring. I can get closer to my my little knockoff solo stove, and I'll burn out less wood too. So speaking of which, we need to get some firewood quick because maybe about an hour and a half of daylight left, and I can get a fire started and then make myself something to eat. Beans, watch out. There's like a little dried up creek bed over there. There's a couple of like things that are feeding into this creek over here. Anyway, looking for stuff that's not necessarily on the ground. As I mentioned before, it's been raining a lot, which I presume is probably the case up here as well. I don't know, but I'm just gonna assume that. So I'm looking for things that necessarily aren't laying on the forest floor. So I'm looking for things that are kind of like leaning up against, clearly dead. And I found these, they were sort of on the floor, but they were elevated a bit so they weren't drinking up all the moisture from the dirt. So I think with this and that other piece that I cut off there, that should be enough for tonight. Let's cut it up and find out. I found another piece of wood. I just set my seat over there. Feel like that was wasn't quite going to be enough. I wanted to start a fire now because it's getting a little late in the day. The bugs are getting a little bitey. So let's go ahead and get the okay. The thermocell is going. You gonna help, Beansy? You gonna help? You should crawl. Yeah, it's a little funky, but it's dry. I like the rest of that, or I'd say half of that. I also remembered that I brought 2 logs of dried Irish peat moss brick. I bought them a while back. I wanted to smoke some spirits and give it some peat flavor. Obviously, it's not Scottish peat; it's Irish peat, but that is used as fuel in the Scottish Highlands and in Ireland. And it's got a very distinct aroma too, so I might bust one of those out. We'll see how this firewood performs. I think that's good. Liana, don't you like your bed? I got you an elevated platform to sleep on with a blankie. You just want to sit in the dirt, huh? Okay, well, got the firewood good to go. All split up, ready to rock and roll. So I'll get cleaned up here and I'm gonna make some food. I'm not doing anything fancy today. Honestly, I was kind of coming down to the wire with this trip and just basically didn't plan a meal. So I just went in and raided the fridge and my pantry and loaded up my refrigerator, my 12-volt fridge, and my chuck box with a variety of things that I could make. But tonight, I think I'm just gonna go with some hot dogs because I got some old buns that I need to get used up, and I have some hot dogs that also need to get used up, and they're mismatched amounts. So I might do that. I also have some leftover pulled pork. I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably just gonna do some hot dogs. I'm not really feeling in the cooking mood tonight. It was a long drive, long time trying to find a place to get set up. So I like to keep things simple tonight, and I got something special planned for tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. If you guys are new here to the channel, my name is Clarence. This is my dog, one of my 2 dogs. Her name is Liana. And if you're into to dispersed camping or camping in new places that you haven't been before, That's what I like to do. I don't like going to campgrounds. I like going to out and explore new places that I've never been to before and try to camp for free if I can. Then you have come to the right place. If you haven't yet, hit like and subscribe. Or if you're on mobile, swipe over to the left and hit that hype button. It really helps out small channels like mine. I'm really trying to grow this channel into something more. So thanks again for coming along for the ride, and stay tuned. All right. Now, while the grill's heating up and everything's all set up and I did all of my chores and all the work necessary, the firewood and the splitting and all that jazz, I think I've earned some suds. So this is a new beer that I haven't tried yet. I picked this up, made by Dogfish Head. I'm sure everybody knows Dogfish Head out of Milford, Delaware. This is one of their Grateful Dead themed beers. It's called Citrus Daydream Lager. I'm guessing it's a play on words from the lyrics in Sugar Magnolia. Sunshine Daydream. Citrus Daydream. Okay, so let's give it a shot. It says that it's a lager brewed with lime, lemongrass, lemon peel, and fonio grain. I don't know what that is. It's a small beer. It's like 5.3% alcohol, so it's kind of small. So let's give it a try. I'm sure this would be good on a really hot day. It's starting to get a little bit chilly, but test it out. Oh, my hands smell like propane because I sprayed propane on myself hooking up that little bottle. Smells citrusy a little bit, a little bready from the malt. Okay, that's definitely like a very clean, kind of toasty malt. Definitely getting the lemongrass in there. Citrus, really the lemongrass. Maybe a little bit of lemon peel too. The malt profile is it's not as toasty as I thought. It's a little bit more bready. I don't know what fonio grain is. I'll have to look that up. I look it up now, but I had no service. We're in the middle of nowhere. Not bad. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Ready? Good job. Stop recording. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't mention. In case one of them I have the chest ready to do, I do have some protection on me. We are in the middle of the woods, and I didn't get it on camera, but as I was driving down, not far from where we entered the forest I go on the forest road where I found this place, maybe about a quarter of a mile. I was going downhill and a black bear ran across the road and it just kept running at an angle like a stupid deer. So I tried to go off to one side and then it ran the other way, and I was like, so I went the other way and headed across double yellow. Fortunately, there was nobody else on the other side of the road, but it just kept going along that way. So yeah. So I do have bear spray and something else if I need it, but yeah, that was crazy. I have Liana here. She'll scare them off, and if anybody knows black bears, they, you just make a lot of noise and scare them away, but they can still mess you up. So I don't want to be picking a fight with a black bear. I just want to get it away from me. So yeah, funny story, true story. All right, we need a little hot dog math here. So I only have one of my Martin's hot dog rolls left from a This was from a men's group at my church. But I also have these 4 steak rolls that I also brought that same function for some long Italian sausage. I figured these would be better for the long Italian sausage rather than hot dog rolls. But I have those. I have 6 hot dogs. I like to eat. I have a huge appetite. If you've watched any of my videos before, you're probably seeing that, yes, I can put down some food. So, I don't know. I might just do double up on the hot dogs. I got to do some hot dog math here. So, this is probably going to be too small. So, I'll probably feed that to Liana. But oh, yes, that piqued your interest, didn't it? I got these 3 here. I could probably double up on the hot dogs. But that means I have to eat 6 hot dogs. But like I said, I'm pretty hungry. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, so after some self-deliberation with myself,
What?
I decided the responsible thing to do, well, let's just do 2 double-wide hot dogs. That's literally 4 franks, which is quite a lot of hot dog to stomach ratio. These are cheddar cheese and jalapeno hot dogs too, so oh yeah. Oh boy, these are getting a little plump. Oh my God. Oh. All right. Let's do that real quick. And I'll break out the condiments. Doing double dogging. Double dog. All right, let's see how this turned out. Woo. So we're gonna double dog these. Good gosh. All right. Is it even gonna fit? Yeah, we'll make it work. All right. First order some business is some horseradish mustard. Boom shakalaka. Oh, get on there. Come on, you. All right. Jalapeno mustard.
Nah, dummy.
Huh. Got some jalapeno ketchup. Sorry, I'm stupid.
Gesundheit.
Whew. It's still springtime around here. My allergies are in the fritz. Double dog, double hot dog. Let's do this. Can never go wrong with a good hot dog. You can't have this bean because there's jalapenos in here. But I do have Leona's favorite treat. These are baby carrots. She loves them. Don't you, Beansy? Ready? Oh, you almost always get it, but not for the camera. Come on. Good girl. All right, we're doing it. This is a piece of Irish peat because this fire is not cooperating. It's just the wood is just too wet. It is what it is. Put that on there and see if we can get it to catch. Tell you, it's getting a little chilly out. Check the thermometer in my camper. There's a thermometer that's outside. It's 49 degrees Fahrenheit, which is wild because again, it's on Monday. It will be June 1st. Tomorrow is May 31st. Yeah, it's chilly. So I'm glad I had the foresight to bring a flannel shirt and a jacket, and I'm very thankful for this fire. But the wood it's a little bit green. Having to fight it a bit. it's late and I'm tired. It's past midnight, so I'm gonna go to bed. And we're gonna wake up tomorrow morning and well, see what comes of it. So, everyone, good night. See you in the morning. Good morning. It's a little bit later in the morning. I slept in for a little bit and I just kind of had a lazy morning. I downloaded some maps and I was looking at some things around here. Just to get an idea of drive time and whatnot, because I don't have any service, so I got to kind of figure that out as I go. But I slept great. I mean, like almost, I didn't wake up at all. I think I woke up once at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Even though it was still dark outside, maybe it was dawn, but the forest suddenly just came alive and the birds were chirping, so that sort of woke me up. And I checked the temperature, and outside it was 38 degrees Fahrenheit. My thermometer says that it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I'm just making some tea. I want to do a few things, so I normally don't eat breakfast, but I think I'm going to get some calories in me. That way I have some energy to go walk around and do a few things before we head home. So I'm going to make something quick to eat real quick and then get camp packed up. So I'll see you in a minute. Just some salt, pepper, garlic, and ancho chili powder. It's my house rub. After burning myself twice, I'll let that pan cool off a little bit because I'm just going to eat it right out of the pan so I don't have to dirty up another dish. But yeah, that's about it. So let me thank the good Lord real quick. Heavenly Father, thank you for keeping us safe for this trip and blessing us with this beautiful campsite and your creation. I pray that you keep us safe on the way home without incident. And again, thank you for everything. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Okay, I'm gonna go sit down by the creek and eat my breakfast because, well, how often do you get a chance to do that, right? See what we got here. Obviously, some Repel, bug spray, starburst wrapper, a couple of caps, small pieces of plastic. I don't know, maybe part of a bread tie, more beer caps, and some random piece of plastic. What is that? Oh, that's bark. Not too bad. Oh, here's part of a zip tie. All right, not too bad. That's all of my trash, plus the trash I picked up for one night. So we're headed out and we're gonna go check something out that I want to show you, so stay tuned for that. It should be pretty neat. I've always wanted to see it. Here we are at the Kinzu Bridge, and the observation deck for the bridge is closed, but there's a trail down here. I think we can at least get a view of it, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. You can kind of see it over there in the distance of what was the bridge. So I've seen a few people walking up and down, so I think that you can get out a little farther to at least get a view of the wreckage. That's what remains of the Kinzua Bridge. It was constructed in 1882. It was 2,053 feet long with a height of 301 feet at the very bottom of this gorge. And trains would cross that. So this is the old viaduct. And in 2003, a F1 tornado came through here and completely damaged it. Almost, I'd say half of the structure was destroyed. And it still lays down there. And there is an observation deck which you can go out from the remaining part of the bridge to, well, there's a glass viewport on the floor that you can look down into the gorge and of course look out throughout the gorge and see the wreckage of the what used to be the towers. Fortunately, this is about as far as we can go, but at least we get a pretty good view of it. I've always wanted to come and check it out. Well, that was a total bummer. I wanted to show you guys the Kinzua Bridge because I had never seen it myself either. But yeah, the observation platform was blocked off for construction, and so were the rest of the trails. All I could do was go down to one of the lower decks that were off to the side. And what I was hoping to be able to do was put the drone up in the air to get some aerial shots of the wreckage and the deck, but as soon as I fired up the DJI Fly app, it notified me that there was flight restrictions, so I stopped and went to the DCNR website for Kinzua Bridge State Park. Sure enough, DCNR has, they prohibit flight of unmanned aircraft or drones. And DCNR is pretty strict, and there was a park ranger on duty, so I didn't want somebody to hear it or go and snitch on me, and well, I don't want to break the law either too, because they will find you. And I don't know how much it is, but it's probably gonna hurt. Yeah, the place here is called the Big Level. Really, really neat, very eclectic. If you're ever near Mount Jewett, Pennsylvania, definitely stop in. So we're here at the Big Level, and since I couldn't go to the observation deck, I figured I'd stop here and get some souvenirs and support a local business. And this gentleman here offered to tell me a little bit about the history. What was your name, sir?
My name's Chris Ewings. First of all, you're in Kinzua country, and Kinzua country is Iroquois Indian, and Kinzua means fish on a spear.
Okay.
They would actually take horses and they would stretch a net across the Allegheny River, and they would take the horses and they would travel upriver, and the bigger fish, the rest of the tribe would be in the water and they would spear the fish. Oh, really? So that's why the Indians are here. General Kane, actually from Kane, Pennsylvania, Thomas L. Kane, he was the first Pennsylvanian to join the Civil War. He formed the Bucktail Regiment, which is a famed regiment in the Civil War. They were a bunch of woodsmen, they were sharpshooters, they were used to foraging for their food. They didn't miss. Mm-hmm. General Kane come back to develop the area, and they started lumbering. They discovered coal, and they needed a way to get the lumber and coal to market, so they had to build a bridge, and this is the first bridge, the Kinzua Bridge. It was built in 1881, opened up in 1882, and by 1900 the train loads got so heavy, and the trains themselves got so heavy that they couldn't accommodate the loads anymore. Mm-hmm. So they had to build a new bridge out of cast iron. These are pieces of the bridge here.
Well, is that from the wreckage of the tornado, or?
Well, actually, this is unique because the first bridge was riveted and this was welded. So, they would retrofit a piece of bridge when they were restoring it in 2003, and the pieces didn't exactly fit, so they'd have to take them out 2-3 times. So they had to put a support in there to keep the bridge from falling down. So, I mean, they would weld it up. So, I mean, this contributed to the bridge going down because, I mean, it was loose.
Okay. And because the fact that it was welded over being riveted.
Well, the bridge was loose.
Okay.
And it was standing there loose because, I mean, they were working on it. I mean, they were putting pieces in, taking it out. And, I mean, a tornado came in.
That's right, because didn't they realize that part of it was rusted in 2002, the year before a tornado hit?
Yes,
okay,
correct.
Right.
And this was when the tornado hit the bridge. This is before it was turned into a skywalk. You can see there's no end on it or anything. This is when they turned it into the skywalk. You can see they have the end on it. The bridge in 1882 was touted as the eighth wonder of the world because it was so long. It was approximately 2,250 feet across and 301 feet high at the center. There was, at the time, it was the longest, largest, tallest railroad bridge in existence. And again, in 1900, it was rebuilt again in 1900 to accommodate the heavier loads. It was touted again as the eighth wonder of the world. And I could show you the proof of that. Because here's an 1882 edition of Scientific America. The bridge was touted as the eighth wonder of the world. This is a 1900 edition of Scientific America. They were tearing the first bridge down, putting the second one up. It was touted again as the eighth wonder of the world. Wow. This is when they dedicated it as a state park. You're on top of the Allegheny Mountains, and this plateau is flat. Mm-hmm. They're about 17 square miles here are flat, and the topography suggests that we shouldn't be flat because we're on top of a mountain. So when they were building the railroad grade to get the coal and lumber to market, they were building along this flat and they come to this big gorge. Mm-hmm. Well, how do you get across? Either you go around the gorge or you got to figure a way to get across. Well, General Kane here, he said, we're going to build a bridge. And they built a bridge across it.
I mean, I'm sure it was a big feat, but it'd be a lot easier than having to go down and around. That would be.
Well, the thing is, why they couldn't go down and around, I mean, first of all, it was rough terrain and it was uphill. So they would have had to have pusher engines on hand to push the loads uphill. It would have been too costly to have a bunch of engines on hand to push the loads uphill. It was easier to build a bridge, or cheaper to build a bridge. You could see how straight the woods line is in back of the bridge there. So, I mean, it's showing it's flat. This is General Kane's boss. This is out of the Kane Mansion.
Now is the town of Kane, it's just west of us, right? Is that named after General Kane?
Yeah, it's named after General Kane.
Where was he from originally?
From Philadelphia.
Oh, from Philly, okay.
And you can see this is an original trading card of General Kane. This is probably late 1800s trading card. They started trading cards just like they do baseball and football cards today. The Civil War heroes at the time.
And you said he was a staunch abolitionist too, right?
He was.
Yes, okay.
He was into helping fight for Indian rights.
Okay.
One time he went out west and lived with the Indians to sort of champion their plight for their fight. This showcase here shows just about every level of the Kinzig Bridge from start to finish, right through the wreckage.
Oh wow!
Some of them postcards are you know, a couple $100 a piece. This one in the middle here, there was a motel restaurant, this yellow one. There's a motel restaurant underneath the bridge that I know of. That's the only one in existence. So General Kane, he was in the Civil War. These are some of the battles he was in. One of the first major battles they were in was Harrisonburg.
Down in Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the battle that General Kane was wounded in. He actually was shot in the face, dislocated some of his teeth. He was also shot in the leg, made one of his legs shorter. These are General Kane's crutches. Wow. We know they're General Kane's crutches because his name's carved in both crutches.
Shot in the face. You know, with the average, what is it, like the caliber of a bullet they would use, like about 70 caliber? To be able to get shot in the face and live to tell, that's pretty amazing.
On top of that, so he was caught by the rebels, and they took a butt of a rifle and smacked him in the chest, so he had lung problems after that. They think to this day he had one collapsed lung, so he ended up living the rest of his life out, what they believe, with just one lung.
Wow.
And he came back, formed the town of Keene, and he became president of the New York, Lake Erie Western Coal Railroad, and here's a stock certificate here of it.
So you've curated all this stuff yourself over the years, and I can tell that
Yes.
you're really interested in the
Yes.
history of this area.
So he was the president of this railroad, and they discovered coal and lumber in the area. Like I said, I mean, they needed a way to get it to market, and I mean, that bridge was straight across. This is a Phoenix Bridge Company plate. That's the first company put the first bridge in. This is American Bridge Company out of New York. That's the second company put the second bridge in.
Okay.
See, there's pieces of the bridge here. You can see how I said it was all riveted.
Oh yeah, I see that now. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
You might want to get a shot over here on this beam over here, or actually look and see how thick this bridge was at the top.
Oh wow. Oh yeah. For hand for scale. That was just one corner of the beam, huh?
Yep. The first bridge was put in for about $175,000. The first bridge was paid for with tourist money. The second bridge was put in for about $250,000. It was also paid for with tourist money because they thought it is the eighth wonder of the world, and people wanted to come from all over the world to see it and ride a train across it, walk across it. Like I said, they had a motel, dance hall below the bridge. People would come and party it up and go across the bridge.
Great. So this place is called the Big Level, right? It says in your hat. And do you guys have a Facebook page?
We do.
Okay. What's the handle?
It's the Big Level.
Just the Big Level on Facebook. Okay. All right.
And if people would like and follow us, they can win free merchandise.
Awesome. Well, if you guys are ever in this area here, near Mount Jewett, and where the Kinzer Bridge State Park is, definitely stop in and check it out. I think it's better than the museum over there, and I got a lot more information here.
We get that a lot.
Yeah. Come here, Leanna. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Yeah, and yeah, God bless you both, and well, I'll just end it there. Well, that was interesting. What a very nice couple, and a really interesting museum/gift shop. They had a lot more neat stuff than the museum that was actually at the state park. I couldn't bring my dog inside there, and I just there was way too many people in there. I felt kind of weird about filming, so I didn't. But yeah, so got a few things for my wife at the gift shop, and got to learn some history about the area that I didn't know, about General Kane, so that was awesome. And with that being said, I think this is a good place to stop the video. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the trip and a little bit of the scenery and history. If you haven't yet, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless.